Hi, I'm Vance, and welcome to Repair and Replace. Dishwashers use a circulation pump to push water through the spray arms and over the dishes. When the pump fails, the dishwasher may still move through each cycle, but it won't clean properly. You might notice soap residue inside the tub, dishes that aren't getting clean, or a loud motor during the wash cycle. In this episode, first, we'll learn how it all works. Then, we'll do some tests with a multimeter. Finally, we'll learn how to install a new circulation pump. Thank you to Frigidaire for sponsoring this video. Let's begin. Most dishwashers work in the same basic way. It's a tub with a spray arm that showers your dishes with water. There's an element to heat the water, a pump that circulates and sprays it, and another pump that drains it. By combining these simple components in different ways, the machine creates its various wash cycles. Let's take a look at a typical pre-wash, main wash, and rinse cycles. When you start a program, a pre-wash begins. First, the drain pump runs to clear any dirty water from the sump basin. Next, power is sent to the inlet valve, which fills the tub with warm water. This cycle does not use detergent and is usually heated only through the hot water supply. Once it fills, the circulation pump forces the water through the spray arms. The spinning is driven by the water pressure. This washes away any large food particles. Next, the drain pump runs to purge the dirty water. During the wash cycle, the tub fills with water again. For a high temp or heavy wash setting, the heating element will raise the water temperature to improve cleaning performance. Next, the dispenser releases the detergent, which dissolves into the water. The circulation pump runs and sprays the dishes. This will run for up to an hour. Then the drain pump clears the tub. Next is the rinse cycle. The tub will fill and the dishes are sprayed again. Rinsing, and on some models added heat, help remove any remaining residue. Finally, the tub is drained and the dishes dry. If the circulation pump fails, then the spray arms won't spin and the dishes won't get washed. In some models, a failed capacitor can also prevent the pump from working. Using a multimeter, components can be tested for continuity. A successful continuity test proves that electricity can pass through the circuit. Without continuity, the component will not work and will need to be replaced. To begin, you might need a screwdriver or nut driver, pliers, and a multimeter. You might also need channel lock pliers, an adjustable wrench, and a socket set. Keep in mind, there is some variation between models, and not all dishwashers will have the same parts. You can enter your model number on the Reliable Parts website. This will bring up a model breakdown with the exact replacement parts listed on the side. First, shut off the breaker to disconnect the power. In some cases, you can unplug the dishwasher. Now shut off the water supply valve. This should be located under the sink. It's also a good idea to wear cut-resistant gloves, as there can be some sharp edges. To access the components, you'll have to remove the dishwasher from the cabinet. These steps may vary depending on your model. Loosen the clamp to remove the drain hose from the sink. If there's a spring clamp, then you'll need to use pliers. Now feed the hose through the cabinet. unscrew and remove the lower access panel. Next, unscrew the water supply line from the inlet valve. In some models, the valve is located in the back and is only accessible once you remove the dishwasher. Unscrew the cover to the junction box. Next, remove the wire nuts. Now unscrew and remove the ground wire. Unscrew the strain relief. Now remove the wires. Open the dishwasher door and remove the mounting bracket screws. You might need to adjust the leveling legs to lower the dishwasher. Now carefully slide the dishwasher out. To avoid scratching the floor, you can put a flat piece of cardboard or a drop cloth under the legs. Now tilt the dishwasher onto its back. If your model has a bottom pan, then you'll have to remove it. Remove any mounting screws. Now release any mounting tabs. Next, lift off the bottom pan. If needed, disconnect any wires. We can test the pump motor while it's still mounted in place. It's always best to take a picture of the wires for reference. Now disconnect the wires. Set your multimeter to the resistance setting. Touch each probe to each terminal. If there's more than 2 terminals, then you'll have to test each pair. There should be a resistance reading of 10 to 100 ohms. You might get a different reading between each pair. If there is no continuity, an infinite reading, or a resistance in the millions of ohms, then the pump has failed and should be replaced. Some circulation pumps have additional terminals for a built-in heater. These will have a resistance reading of 10 to 30 ohms. A continuity test will only show if the pump has failed electrically. It's still best to check to see if there's anything jammed or blocking the impeller. If the pump has failed the continuity test or does not spin freely, then it's best to install a new one. Some models use a small capacitor to help start the motor. This might be located on the motor or off to the side. The capacitor stores and releases an electrical charge, and even without power, there's still a risk of shock. Use a resistor or a screwdriver with an insulated handle to touch both terminals. This will discharge the capacitor. Now, remove the wires. Next, unscrew and remove the capacitor. On the side of the capacitor, you'll see the capacitance rating in microfarads. This is what we're referencing. Set your multimeter to the capacitance setting. Now test between both terminals and wait 5 seconds. If there is no reading and no continuity, or if the reading is more than 5% of the rated value, then the capacitor is faulty and should be replaced. When replacing a capacitor, make sure to match the rating exactly. This will ensure that the motor works properly. Next, align the capacitor and secure it into place. Now reconnect the wires. Disconnect any remaining wires. Now remove the mounting screws. In some models, you'll need to remove a mounting plate or a retaining clip. In other cases, you might need to release a hose clamp. Now remove the pump. With the pump removed, check to make sure that there's nothing stuck inside that might block the water. The pump might have an O-ring or a larger rubber gasket. If the new pump comes with a new gasket, then it's best to replace it too. Align the pump into the mount. If needed, align the retaining clip. Now, tighten the mounting screws. If there was a hose clamp, then secure it into place. Next, reconnect the wires. In some models, you'll have to unscrew and remove an impeller. First, remove the lower rack. Now, remove the spray arm. Use a flat blade screwdriver to release the tabs and simply lift it off. In other models, you might have to unscrew the assembly. If needed, remove the mounting stem. This might be held in by screws or might just take a quarter turn to unlock. Some models have a glass filter which you can remove. Other models have a filter ring, which might be held in by screws. Use soapy water and a brush to remove any grease or food particles from the filter. If there's an impeller, then use a flat blade screwdriver to stabilize it while you unscrew it. Now remove the impeller. In this model, the food chopper is underneath a plastic assembly with a mesh screen. Remove this and clean it. The chopper blade is slotted under the motor shaft and should just lift off. If needed, align the chopper blade onto the motor shaft. Replace the chopper filter screen. Align the impeller onto the mount. Now tighten the mounting screw. Take the filter ring and align it onto the mount. If necessary, replace the screws. Some filter rings will just slide into place. Now, replace the glass filter. If needed, replace the mounting stem. Align the spray arm onto the mount and snap it into place. In other models, you'll have to tighten the mounting screws. Align the bottom pan into the mount. Press in to lock the mounting tabs. Now tighten the mounting screws. First, feed the drain hose into the sink cabinet. Gently slide the dishwasher into place. If necessary, adjust the leveling legs. Tighten the screws to secure the dishwasher to the countertop. Now connect the drain hose and tighten the clamp. Make sure that the drain hose has an elevated loop above the connection. This will prevent water from flowing back into the dishwasher. Feed the wires into the junction box and tighten the strain relief. Now connect the ground wire. Next, tighten the wire nuts to secure the wires. Now replace the junction box cover. Attach the water supply line to the inlet valve and tighten it into place. Finally, replace the lower access panel. Turn on the water supply. Next, reconnect the power. Now it's best to test the dishwasher to see if it's working properly. You can start a cycle even without any dishes or detergent. If this works, then cancel the cycle and run a full load of dishes. If you found this episode helpful, then subscribe to our channel. And when you need a replacement part, you can get it online or in one of our reliable parts locations. Thanks for watching.